It's a final game in the group for Northern Ireland. Third place secured in their World Cup qualifying Group D, but they'll want to finish in a high away to Latvia as we now prepare for the anthems. Next up is Latvia. Three switches for the home side from Thursday's defeat to North Macedonia. Mixone wins her 50th cap. Rakan and Voitan have plenty of experience on the right-hand side. 5 changes from the side that played in Luxembourg. Ellie Mason makes her Northern Ireland debut. The Lewis captain played 2 friendly games for Gibraltar earlier this year. Caldwell and Hamilton made an impact off the bench on Friday. Finnegan, McGuinness and Wilson are all under the age of 21. Gail Redmond's alongside me on co-commentary for this one. Gail, what do you make about the changes? Obviously we saw the graphic there. It's going to be a very different formation for Northern Ireland from the one supplied to UEFA, but what do you like about the lineup selected by Kenny Shields?
Yeah, I think it's forward thinking and it's attacking, you know, in a 4-4-2. Get your wide players involved, which has always been a strength for us, and lovely to see, you know, the impact that Caldwell and Hamilton made in the last game, and they're getting their just rewards with the starting spot.
Latvia, the bottom side in the group, they've really struggled this campaign in their games so far. 8 defeats and only 1 victory in the group to date. They've conceded a lot of goals in the process. We expected goals against Luxembourg. In the end, it was almost a bit of a grind for Northern Ireland to get to victory. What do you feel Kenny Shields will be saying to his side in the build-up to this one?
I think the start's so important. You know, start on the front foot. He's picked a team that is going to be attacking minded, and if you can score early, then it just sets the tone of the game. If not, it suits Latvia and they can stay in the game longer.
The manager did say that he would make changes, he would be looking to the future, but how important is it to get that blend, that he's not doing too much too soon, and to have the likes of Demi Vance or Marissa Callahan in there just to make sure that there's that solidity and that form of continuity in the starting lineup?
Yeah, I think the spine of the team is very much the same, and you have to get the balance correct. He's talked about it, you know, in lots of different interviews, you know, of making sure that he gives them the right opportunity at the right time. But it's all about trust, and the 11 he's trusted right now, hopefully they can go and perform.
This match being played just outside Riga. The fixture was actually switched within the last fortnight or so. The timing of the game as well changed. So a little bit of a rejig for Northern Ireland in particular, but it is fairly close to Riga, so not too much disruption. And, well, Latvia currently 122nd in the world. It's actually their lowest position in the world ranking, so the only way is up from them and for their manager looking on. 60 goals conceded in the group, 30 of them to England, 20 of course in that away fixture, then 10 at home. So it's been a tricky group for Latvia. Lost out 3-2 to North Macedonia in their last fixture. Also unlucky against Luxembourg. It was an injury time turnaround there for the home side that denied Latvia, first of all, the victory when they missed a penalty, and then even a point after a last gasp winner. But they're going to have some early defending to do. Cara Hamilton linking up with her teammate Nadine Caldwell. Decent defending from the Latvian backline. And now they're on the break. Nobody else really forward to help out. Sevkova. She's got a couple of goals already in the group.
You can see early on Northern Ireland's intentions to go forward early, using the pace of Hamilton out wide. But again, Latvia, their own threat, you know, off the counter, realising that they need to stay on the dribble to get numbers forward. And, you know, in their system of the 3-5-2, they're going to have to do a lot with the ball.
Kenny Shields looking on. Pictures being provided by our colleagues in Latvia, so we don't have control of them in case there's any break-up in the stream or any issues as this match progresses. Here is Vance. Has made that left-back berth their own. Interesting that Rebecca Holloway travelled back from America for this double-header. Hasn't been involved from the start in either game. Well read by Finnegan. So unlucky to miss out in the Euros. Was one of the players who played in the final warm-up game, but didn't eventually make the trip to England, and it's run all the way through to the experienced goalkeeper Jackie Burns, who wins her 44th cap. Given the high standards she set, I'm sure she'd have been disappointed to concede that equaliser against Luxembourg. That game almost turning on its head when Northern Ireland conceded with about a quarter of an hour remaining. Battled back though through that winner from Rebecca McKenna. And here's Cara Hamilton persevering, still in play, still going Cara Hamilton. This is a fantastic run from her. And well, you can see the confidence with which she's playing with. Leading by example on the right-hand side, charging forward. Just before, I think the Latvians felt the ball had run out of play, but Cara Hamilton playing to the whistle. And winning the corner kick, and it's Demi Vance who comes across to take it. Gail, we know her quality from positions like this. Yeah,
we normally aim for the back post and have the runners coming in, and in the past it's worked really well for us.
Nadine Caldwell just a little bit over-eager right in the edge of the box. Latvia playing very, very deep, but they're looking to hit Northern Ireland on the counter-attack, and you can hear the home supporters thought that was an opportunity with Sevkova through the middle. Sevkova and Fedotova, two very experienced members of this Latvian lineup. Fedotova played in Italy previously, now in Lithuania. And rather than play alongside Sevkova for this one, it's Danilova instead. So a little bit of a different look for Latvia. I'm not too sure if it was an enforced switch, because Fedkova has played the majority of the game so far in the group. All right, so Latvians, you have a corner. McSoney, a very imposing presence, was one of the more impressive performers at Windsor Park about a year ago when Northern Ireland defeated Latvia by 4-0. And you can see straight away being picked up by Sarah McFadden for this set piece. Lifted in, right on top of the goalkeeper, and collected at the second opportunity. Very calm from Jackie Burns.
This is good from Northern Ireland, being able to play quick in the space.
Look at the Whitechurch flooding forward. Emily Wilson plays it in. First opportunity for Caitlin McGuinness on the turn. Couldn't hit the target. The two youngsters linking up well.
Fantastic, and just the weight of the pass there from Caldwell. And you see Wilson here just been able to pick out her strike partner in the middle. Great first touch on the swivel, and just unfortunate. We talked about it a lot in the last game about the importance of getting the ball and on target, because if you can get it on target, anything can happen. And again, just very unfortunate for Caitlin McGuinness there.
And just a reminder maybe for people who didn't see the game against Luxembourg, the players who are missing: record goal scorer Rachel Furness, Northern Ireland's top goal scorer in the group so far. She is out, deciding not to make herself available for this game. Hopefully we will see her back in a Northern Ireland shirt in the near future. Simone McGill had that horror injury in the first game at the Euros. She's finding it 5 times. Then it's Caitlin McGuinness, and a poor back pass. Jackie Burns caught in both minds. And nerves from Mason maybe in an international debut?
Yeah, maybe just not communicating and haven't played together ever before with Jacqueline Burns. Maybe still understanding who's coming, who's going. You certainly don't want to be giving Latvia any invitations.
Latvia actually took the lead against Austria in their opener. Lost the match 8-1, but found the net in the opening 10 minutes. And well, there wasn't anyone lurking in and around the penalty area to make the most of that defensive lapse, but they have got another corner kick. And almost the opening goal again. I think it was a combination of McKenna and Burns on the goal line. It's a real bright opening from the home side.
Yeah, I was just wondering there, Burns is looking like she can barely see from the sun, if that affected her ability just to come in.
Well, here's another tester. Same at this time. And that's a very fair point you're making, Gail, because it does look like a very sunny afternoon, and it may well be right into the eyes of Jackie Burns. There's a ball lifted in. I think it was an outstretched leg from Sevkova. It was McSoney actually. She's a player who really impressed me in Belfast. I thought everything that Latvia did right on that occasion, even though they were comprehensively beaten, involved either McSoney or Voitin.
Yeah, such a great start from Caitlin McGuinness there. Just been able to peel wide, you know, causing the defence problems. And again, you know, doesn't get the crossing, but she gets the corner. Forward thinking, trying to get the ball in the danger area.
She's wearing that number 9 jersey, and obviously we have an idea of an out-and-out number 9, and we have an idea of how Simone McGill's played, but how different are the styles of play of a Simone McGill and the likes of a Caitlin McGuinness. Just hold that thought momentarily as we see this corner kick come in.
Corner number 2 there, yes, it's very, very different. You know, Caitlin McGuinness is, you know, plays off the shoulder. She's a willing runner. You know, she wants to move into the channels very freely. She probably wouldn't be as prolific as what we've seen Simone McGill be inside the box.
Another tester for the goalkeeper, back in again by Cara Hamilton, but well collected under pressure. Vivode wins a free kick in the process. There wasn't a huge amount in it. Sarah McFadden right on top of her. I think Sarah McFadden has every right to go for that ball. Another soft free kick, but one that the goalkeeper will gratefully accept. And I suppose when you're a goalkeeper who concedes 20 goals and 10 goals, you'll take any early confidence boost, won't you?
Absolutely, she'll be slowing things down. And
decent link-up play, and well, there is Ellie Mason again involved. Another touch for her.
yeah, it's just important that Northern Ireland start really winning those balls in the air first, because that sets the tone to the game, and you don't want to be giving Latvia just any encouragement.
As Mercer Callahan gives it away. Northern Ireland have been a little bit too comfortable in the middle within quick succession. Here's Finnegan, who drifts forward, and the shot wasn't a fitting finale to the run, but Started the game on the front foot, Tony Finnegan, and you mentioned how important the start was going to be for Northern Ireland. What have you made of the opening 10 minutes?
Yeah, I think probably we just haven't been able to get in behind them. When you play a 3-5-2, sometimes they sit in a 5 and it's difficult to find the space. But we just need to continue just to win the ball first and move the ball at the tempo that suits us.
Apologies, it was Ellie Mason drifting forward there. Didn't expect the centre half to push that far up, but she looks like she is playing as an orthodox centre half. But Tony Finnegan's just dropped back in the last couple of minutes, so maybe that's been a little bit of a change. Ellie Mason very comfortable playing as a centre midfielder or as a central defender. Demi Vance spotted the little space, went down, glances back at the referee as if to say, where was the whistle? But referee was well positioned and felt there wasn't sufficient contact. This is better now. Sarah McFadden finds Mason. Mentioned those 2 games for Gibraltar before she changed allegiance. It's seen as a little bit of a coup for Northern Ireland and Kenny Shields to have a player of her quality. 26, but came through at Chelsea. Now the Lewis captain. Here's the match winner from the other night, Rebecca McKenna. Played it in low. Unable to find a white shirt, but it was a really tricky ball for the defenders to deal with.
Yeah, it was great patience from Northern Ireland from the left side the whole way out to the right. And, you know, we see the third man run from Rebecca McKenna just getting into the final third, and it was a quality cross, but unfortunately we just didn't seem to have a white jersey near it.
Must you like the balance on the right-hand side? You know, the attacking, all-energy role that Rebecca McKenna plays, but also having Cara Hamilton ahead of her. There's going to be a lot of chopping and changing between that pair, and a lot of trust between that pair. It's the type of combination you feel it could link up very well, not just today, but in the future on that right-hand side. McSoney, a little bit cumbersome as she tried to clear and eventually has played away. Latvia are so deep, inviting on the pressure. And this is a long way out, but it's Demi Vance territory. Tony Finnegan also fancies it.
Super from Demi Vance there, just getting in amongst it. And you see Nadine Corwell just trying to fight her way through because the space isn't exactly there. There's so many red shirts around.
Well, Demi Vance doesn't currently have a club. She was at Rangers last season, having joined them from Glentoran about 18 months ago. Very capable from this kind of range, but so too is Tony Lee Finnegan. And it looks like the youngster fancies this one. Riding high in the Niffle Premiership with Clifton Villan. It was kept in play by the goalkeeper according to the officials. On target anyway from Tony Lee. Wilson loves to peel across to that left-hand side. Vance more and more involved as this game is progressing.
Yeah, it just looks a wee bit more like a 4-3-3 because Wilson's just hanging out there on the left side. And the only thing is, when you have an inverted, you don't always go past the fullback. You're coming inside, and I'd love to see her going down the line a little bit and getting in behind the Latvian defence because everything's just in front right now.
Well, the goalkeeper's rushing to take that kick out. There's only one player anywhere near the Northern Ireland half, and it's worked out nicely for them because it was good hold-up play from Sevkova. Plays in Iceland. Zajkova not involved, one of the other most experienced players in the Latvian lineup. The two of them play their club football in Iceland, but Sevkova very comfortable up top. Finnegan been on the ball a lot in the early stages. McKenna was an injury worry going into this game, but is back involved. Cara Hamilton does well to keep it in play. Opportunity for McKenna. Similar position to the one she scored from on Thursday. Driven goalwards, and, well, it was the midfielder who got in the way.
It was so good by Rebecca. Rebecca McKenna here. You just see anybody else sometimes goes across that early, but she was inviting the defender to come out of their shape and got a corner worthwhile.
Very much a modern fullback, Rebecca McKenna. Loves pushing forward, doesn't neglect her defensive duties, but, well, you can see the quality that she has in the opposition half and the winner she scored the other evening. Demi Vance. It's skidded off the head once again of Rockane, but there was an infringement in there, and you just feel every single time Demi Vance has an opportunity from a set piece, it's going to cause trouble. I think that actually flicked off the post. Don't see too much wrong there. I wonder if it was maybe for the activity at the back post with Marissa Callahan. I think if that had ended up in the back of the net, it probably would have stood, but once it rebounded off the post, the referee felt that there was a foul by Marissa Callahan in the follow-up and blew the whistle early.
Yeah, definitely with the sun causing all sorts of problems. It's worthwhile putting that ball into the danger area, asking questions.
McSoney. Well, you can hear what Kenny Shields thinks over the match effects. No talking is what is being said from his technical area. I think Shields felt maybe that Jackie Burns could have been a little bit more authoritative in that situation, but the free kick is going Northern Ireland's way anyway for the tackle on Mason.
Yeah, it's so important. I think we alluded to it earlier that when it's a new centre half working with a new goalkeeper, you need to keep talking, give them confidence, especially when their back's to goal.
Is that an area that you feel Northern Ireland need to have a little bit of reinforcement, maybe a little bit of youth? No disrespect to both Julie Nelson and Sarah McFadden, but given their age profile, and Mason is capable of playing as a centre midfielder as well. Is it an area that Northern Ireland need a little bit more backup in the two central defensive positions, or is it a case of having a versatile players can be beneficial no matter what?
I think probably for the past maybe 10 years we've been looking for other centre halves.
I'm not writing off Julie. I'm not writing off Julie Nelson because I know she'll be on to me straight away. So I'm not writing off Julie. All I'm saying is a different option as Northern Ireland win a free kick, and it's in a fairly similar position to the one that Tony Finnegan had a little cider from a moment ago.
Yeah, I think when you're missing, retirement of Ashley Hutton, unfortunately Kelsey Burrows missed out in this camp, so there's opportunities there, but it would definitely be an area to strengthen for Northern Ireland, especially because in the modern game, it's not just 4-4-2s anymore. We've been playing 3 at the back and getting 3 really good, strong centre halves to, be able to change things up in formation is very important.
Demi Vance gave up the first one. Can't see her giving up this free kick. There are 4 players in the wall. It would suit the right foot of Tony Finnegan though. It is Vance driven and low, and the wall did its job. Picked up again by the left back. Plenty still forward. Can't find anything up. And it's Voitin, the captain. Another player who plays in Iceland, winning her 52nd cap today, 14 goals in the process. There are some of the home supporters in the stands. Quite a few buggies in the background as well. Decent atmosphere for the game, you can hear in the background. Gornella, player we haven't really spoken about. Almost 20 minutes played in this World Cup qualifier. Northern Ireland's final World Cup qualifier. Can't make it, of course, to Australia and New Zealand. Republic of Ireland have guaranteed themselves second in the group. They play later on today to find out if they get a bye in the first round of what is a very difficult playoff system to explain. But they're in the hat. So too are Scotland and Austria. Austria finishing second in this group. England securing that victory on Saturday that clinched their place at the World Cup, as the Lionesses hope to make it a double with the European Championships and also the World Cup in quick succession.
Yeah, Wales need to win tonight so they can secure a place as well.
It's always going to be a very tricky draw for Northern Ireland. When you look at the quality of, well, we know the quality of England, but also the quality of Austria, a side that have invested heavily, a side that finished third in the last European Championships before England.
Yeah, I think that's why the game at Seaview for the 2-2 draw was just phenomenal. Just to think that we were leading for so long probably was a bit of a turning point. Knowing then we went to Austria, they had already done their homework on us, and we made a real good game of it. But it just goes to show how far this Northern Ireland team has come in the past 18 months to 2 years.
Well, you start to look through it, and I was kind of looking back in previous campaigns, and Northern Ireland in the last 2 World Cup qualifying campaigns won 2 games in them as Cara Hamilton charged forward, wins another corner kick. But in the last qualifying campaign, they won once. In the qualifying campaign before that, they won once. Across those 2 groups, they scored 7 goals. So there's no doubt there has been progression. It's a case of moving up the rankings, improving the coefficient, and then trying to get into pot 2 potentially in the future for Kenny Shields' side. Set pieces, corner kick starting to mount up. Vance might fancy this. Rebounded off a teammate, and then just as McFadden was getting ready to fire it goalwards, McSoney got in the way. It's a miscued clearance from the goalkeeper, still in play. And cleared away by Voitin. Here's Vance, crossing the right-hand side. Wilson. Hugging that left touchline, a position we've seen Kirsty McGuinness pick up on countless occasions. McGuinness was an injury worry, but is on the bench, as is Lauren Wade. That's another boost for the visitors. She'd rolled an ankle, obviously a player who joined Reading a couple of weeks ago, so she won't, before the new season, won't want to be playing catch-up. McFadden threads it through to McKenna. She switched sides, pulled back towards Marissa Callahan. Can't find the skipper. And again, Latvia survive, but you do feel it's only a matter of time, given how deep Latvia are playing. It's only Sevkova up front, and McSoney is going through so much work trying to bring it out of the fence or play it forward and support Sevkova. Pretty much all one-way traffic in the first half of this first half.
Yeah, I think Northern Ireland are showing excellent patience, but Rebecca McKenna does seem to be the live spark. You know, if she's making an inside run, supporting Hamilton on the wide, it's very dangerous. We've seen her now migrate over to the left. Does seem if anything's going to happen, it is going to come through her.
Passed a fitness test to be involved. Obviously, Abby McGee, a very capable deputy. Those two battling for that right back berth in the starting lineup. Callahan just got her head up, played it in first time. Hamilton was lurking, didn't quite fall for her, and it's away as far as Finnegan. A robust challenge there. Referee happy enough with it, and it's played across to Hamilton. Loves this one-on-one situation. Little step over, there's a pull back. Good defending. Just as Marissa Callahan was attempting to work the goalkeeper. You did call it, Gail. Just a little drop of the shoulder. Pulled it back to the captain. And McSoney in the right place at the right time to deny Callahan.
Yeah, and you have to give it to Latvia. You know, they've stuck to their task. You know, if they haven't been able to put pressure on the ball for coming in, they've certainly been picking up inside the box to deny all sorts of opportunities, and they've defended well, but hoping that Northern Ireland can find a way through and, you know, keep probing at them and finding those slip passes, and the third man runs coming from Callahan will be key as well.
Nadine Caldwell was almost trying to leapfrog her opposite number and was trying to stay in possession here. Awkward bounce, little clash, and then the referee felt that Nadine Caldwell was maybe overly physical as she made that challenge. Doesn't look like Caldwell agrees with her, but Northern Ireland have some defending to do, and we've already witnessed the height in the Latvian lineup and perhaps the sun in the eyes of the goalkeeper Burns. So you expect this to be dropped right on top of the Northern Ireland number 1. Two Cliftonville players in the wall, Finnegan and Callahan. There's a player who gave away the free kick, Nadine Caldwell. McSoney, the obvious threat in the centre. She's made the run, wasn't dealt with, and it almost dropped for the number 10. And on the turn, it's tipped over the top. Treimani with the effort. Jackie Burns had to be alert. It was Rokane initially who tried to get enough on it. I think it was Demi Vance who did well just to get her head on it, and then the centre half, Treimani, who has found the net in this campaign so far. Jackie Burns keeping her concentration. More defending to do though. Oh, it's 1-0. It was a miscue from Vance at the back post, and Rokane has given Latvia the breakthrough. Northern Ireland had been warned on 2 or 3 occasions. It was a simple ball towards the back post, and Rokane outwitted Vance before powering it past Burns.
Yeah, Northern Ireland will be very disappointed in the nature of the free kick not cleared, and then the corner kick. And very interesting that we'll have someone in the hole at the front of the post there. I think it's Callahan, when really the danger's at the back. And she just loses Vance here, mistimes it, and it's an easy header back post.
Home supporters happy with that. Rokane nodding it past Burns. As one of the players identified beforehand as a real goal threat, Rokane. Her 52nd cap, scored against North Macedonia on Thursday, so that's 2-2 for her. And Northern Ireland have to come from behind. Callahan. Just over an hour to play. Wilson. Another chance for her to get into the middle, but the flag was up. That wasn't in the script. On paper, Northern Ireland vastly superior to Latvia, but I have to say, when you look at the group overall, it's slightly surprising, given the quality and the players that Latvia have, that they find themselves adrift at the bottom of the table. Yeah,
they really have struggled away from home, and maybe it's times where they haven't had their full squad available to them. But big, heavy defeats against England, I'm sure, probably knocked their confidence, and, you know, they're maybe trying to spearhead, finishing off a campaign to start a new one.
Well, there's going to be that long gap before the next campaign in the European qualifiers. Don't know where that tournament is going to be, and it's probably going to be a year until the first games in that group. So Northern Ireland and Latvia hoping to make the most of this one and try and gather a little bit of momentum. It's something that Kenny Shields spoke about as a decent delivery. Goalkeeper got a fist to it. Follow up from McKenna, who couldn't keep it down. What have you made of Emily Wilson's performance so far? And not the kind of play we usually see her with the Northern Ireland through the middle. It's more in a wide berth.
Yeah, she's playing wide left, and it's difficult, you know, because she's naturally wanted to come in on her strong right foot, and her delivery was excellent there. And Callahan, you know, made a good attempt, but it's the follow-up. You know, we've seen the follow-ups before. You have to get them on target, you know, to test this goalkeeper. And again, when you don't have a natural left-sided player, the tendency is to come inside, and then you're actually never in behind Latvia to cause them the problems that we know Northern Ireland can.
Northern Ireland have finished third in a World Cup qualifying campaign before. You look back at 2011, just over a decade ago, and Northern Ireland finished third in that group. Really good qualifying performance from quite a few of the players who are actually still involved, the likes of McFadden and Julie Nelson. Rachel Furness, of course, I think scored the winner in a game against France, if memory serves me right, and Caldwell would have been there. Demi Vance too. So they were the building blocks. Marissa Callahan. So it's good to see some young players coming through, but there's still some experienced ones who've provided the backbone for this side for about 14 or 15 years now. Hamilton edging towards 30 caps herself. Caitlin McGuinness shifts it back. McKenna twisting and turning. It's worked out again to Hamilton. This is patient from the visitors. Caldwell plays it in, but doesn't beat the first defender. There's really no forward panic from Northern Ireland after going behind. They stuck to the game plan.
Yeah, it's good to see the maturity of the players. We saw it against Luxembourg, when they, you know, at 78 minutes and you concede one and it's one each, and you think, oh, next 10 minutes is going to be tough, but proved not to be. We will do score a goal quick. And
well, two of us were trying to figure out what happened in the aftermath of the goal. We eventually realised that it was a second yellow card for Thompson for having attempted to take her shirt off. I don't think it actually was lifted above her head, but the rule says that it's a yellow if you lift your shirt up and it is put over your face, and that was a real turning point in that game, because if it had been 11 against 11 for the last 10 minutes, it could have been interesting from Northern Ireland's point of view. A lot of people watched that clip online on the BBC Sport Northern Ireland social media channels. Here's McSoney. A lot of people were also trying to figure out exactly why she'd been sent off also. Quite a bit of debate. Hopefully there aren't any controversial decisions today. Play it in. And it was the danger player through the middle. It was Sevkova, and again, it was too easy for Latvia.
it was the quick turnover again, and Northern Ireland weren't taking care of the ball, and Latvia are winning back quickly. And at that time, they had 4 players inside the box, so they're committed numbers forward. And if Northern Ireland then can play the ball quicker, there'll be more spaces for them in between in the counter.
Sevkova just finds space between the two defenders, but at the other end it's Hamilton. Kept in play by the home side and away. Recycled by Rebecca McKenna. Match winner the other night, the 21-year-old. Her second goal at international level, scored against North Macedonia away. So 2 goals for the group. 2 goals for international career. That's certainly going to yield plenty of caps in the future. Nadine Caldwell, a little bit of talking to. I think that's a final warning for Nadine Caldwell. As we look back at that chance a moment ago for Latvia. Sevkova just getting in behind McFadden and It's collected by Jackie Burns, but she's certainly a handful up top, Sevkova.
She is, and you can understand, you know, in the best countries of the world, and, you know, we'll talk about England since they're European champions, you know, the likes of an Ellen White or Elisa Rousseau, they just bury that, you know, first time. And unfortunately for Latvia, you know, they needed maybe another touch or couldn't pick out the flight of the ball. But they're the fine margins in football that you see that, you know, we've had one at the top end with Caitlin McGuinness. We just didn't hit the target, but, you know, you need to be ruthless.
It can make such a big difference at this level. You know, you look at some of the players that Northern Ireland came up against at the Euros. You mentioned some of those English stars, and you've got the likes of Bia for Austria, one of the top players in the German Bundesliga, and then also Caroline Graham Hansen, of course, for Norway. So it is a gulf, and well, it's a gap that Northern Ireland are just trying to chip away at and reduce as time goes on.
And, you know, you've said it before that when you lose players like us, the, you know, the McGills and the Furnaces of this world, then we don't have them available. You know, it's good for our other players to get the opportunity, but we need to take our chances.
Well, hopefully they will be back at some stage soon. Right now in the present, it's another advanced delivery. Again, it's right on top of the goalkeeper, and there's the equaliser. It's the goalkeeper who I think failed to collect it, and it ricocheted off her and into her own goal. Demi Vance, well, not sure if she'll claim it, but she certainly played a huge part in that one.
Yeah, maybe worried about the team talk at half-time. Now she's redeemed herself, but it's the quality that she brings in these deliveries. And we talked about it before with the sun. You know, you put it in an area, it's inviting, and the goalkeeper makes a mistake, and, you know, all of a sudden it's one each, and Northern Ireland can really push forward now.
Well, we know with Demi Vance, she will always ask the question from set pieces like that. I mean, she's making it very difficult for the defenders, but that's an own goal. I mean, it wasn't on target. It's an own goal from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and you got to give
Vojvode
McGuinness some credit there too. She did her job without fouling the goalkeeper, standing in front, making herself difficult to be marked.
Such quality on the right-hand side from Demi Vance. Time after time, she plays it into that particular area. How many occasions have we seen the likes of a Furnace in the end of a corner like that, or the likes of McFadden or Nelson, are usually the other players attacking it. It's been a massive asset for Northern Ireland in their successful period over the past 2 years. Set piece is something you can work on in an international camp, and Demi Vance from the right-hand side in particular, there's a player that can provide real quality and provide a platform for the players I've just mentioned to attack it and score goals.
Yeah, we've always seemed to be so blessed by left-sided players. We thought there was never going to be one as good as Kelly Bailey, who over the years, especially in the Niffle Premier League, has just done it. And, you know, we've got the likes of Vance and Furnace as well, all left-footed. Jacqueline Burns, left-footed. We're blessed.
So level. 7 minutes to go to half-time. Again, hasn't been a vintage performance from the visitors. There's the manager again. Don't be kicking the ball out of play. Coming from the dugout. Now, we all know about Kenny Shields' philosophy, playing out from the back. Being patient, also being brave in the process. Stuck to his guns at the Euros. Good build-up play from Latvia, it has to be said. Forced goalwards and connected with ease by Jackie Burns. It was a hopeful effort from a long way out from the Latvian. Good challenge. McSoney standing out again. Don't think she's going to get in behind Rebecca McKenna. I feel this is a key part of the game.
Yeah, I think that's why Kenny Shields has asked them not to kick the ball out. You know, let's keep the ball in play, keep the tempo high, because I do think Latvia will not be able to sustain, you know, the pressure that we're putting them under. And you'll see now, yep, gaps are starting to open up, but we just need to make sure we have the quality there of the passing,
Dean Shields back in the edge of the technical area there. Wasn't involved on Friday. Dungannon Swifts obviously had a game at the same time, given his commitments with the Stanmore Park club. Don't think he's too happy.
No, but sometimes you forget until you get a wee glance at the bench there to see the quality that Northern Ireland have there with McLaren and Beattie all available if he needs to change it up like he did in the last game.
Yeah, 3 players coming off the bench made a massive impact on Friday. Rebecca Holloway a little bit unfortunate, maybe not to start this one, given her performance in that second 45 minutes. Both Caldwell and also Cara Hamilton in from the start this time, though. If you're just joining us, Latvia took the lead from a back post header from a set piece, and then Northern Ireland equalised a moment ago. Demi Vance's corner kick bundled into her own net by Vaivode. Visitors haven't had it all their own way, though. Vaivode hasn't had a great deal to do, it has to be said. And that will frustrate Kenny Shields in Northern Ireland. McFadden. Flag stays down. Another chance for Latvia. Pushed away from goal and a decent stop from Jackie Burns. It was Sevkova, but didn't hit it with a great deal of conviction when she got in behind. Northern Ireland tracked back, and it could so easily have been 2-1 to the home side. Here at the other end, it's McKenna who's bundled over. Still manages to find Hamilton, and it's another set piece. Another chance for Demi Vance.
Oh, she was onside, yes. And it was a great first touch. You'll see it here. Jackie Burns just able to get set and parry the ball away, and Northern Ireland certainly did get away with one there.
Sevkova made the angle difficult for her. Just that touch there. Needed a lot more routine for Jackie Burns. This is where the first goal came from. Again, it's Demi Vance attempting to do the same, and well, the goalkeeper's bound to be a little bit nervy from situations like that moving forward. Caitlin McGuinness lurking. Final touch was off the striker.
Yeah, surprised Northern Ireland haven't changed up to maybe do a wee cluster formation in those corners, since we've already seen a lot of errors from the goalkeeper already.
I think it was Ellie Mason who made the mistake to play on Sevkova. Just a little bit too deep behind McFadden. Here's Sevkova. Belated whistle from the referee as we enter the final couple of minutes of this first half. One apiece in Latvia. Finnegan sprays it towards Hamilton in this near side. There's a little bit of a movement up ahead from McKenna. I think the final touch was off McKenna, but the defender felt the need to keep it in play, and then there was good pressure from the former Linfield right back to force the throw in.
Yeah, she's so versatile, Rebecca McKenna. You know, she has played centre mid before in more of a 10 role, and you can see that, you know, she's looking to drive in the spaces. And I think for Northern Ireland, sometimes when we look up, Caitlin McGuinness is just a little bit too static, and I wonder if her and Callahan can possibly switch some, so there's a little bit more movement up front when we're driving through with the ball.
Wilson. 3 players around her. Can Northern Ireland find a goal that will put them ahead to break? A minute to go, plus injury time. Hamilton turns back to find Sarah McFadden. Look how far Jackie Burns is out of her own goal. Now it's Finnegan. Tries to switch the play to Hamilton. Very deliberate build-up play. The Jew link up once more. McKenna lets it run. Vance, left foot, just wide. One of the best periods of possession that Northern Ireland have had in this opening half. Shifted it from left to right. But couldn't hit the target at the end of it.
No, and again, I think we have to give credit to Latvia of how well they've stuck to their shape and forced Northern Ireland into, you know, chances there that in shots that we don't necessarily always want to have. We want to get in behind them.
No injury time. A goal apiece at the interval. Latvia took the lead from a back post header from the player in shot, Rakane. Simple finish for her after Demi Vance was left exposed at the back post. Jackie Burns had a couple of big saves to make, and her opposite number, unfortunate to see her attempted effort to claim Demi Vance's corner kick end up in her own goal. So at the break, it is 1 apiece. Latvia 1, Northern Ireland 1. We'll be back with the second half very soon on the BBC iPlayer and BBC Sport Northern Ireland website. Northern Ireland already out. Latvia making their way from the dressing room. There's the goalkeeper, Vojvode, and also the captain, Wojtien. Latvia aiming for their second victory in this group. There's the goal scorer, Rakane. Really difficult and frustrating group so far for the Latvians. It's been an uphill struggle. Had those heavy defeats against England and Austria as well. Shipped a lot of goals in the process, but they'll be disappointed with the performances against the likes of North Macedonia and also Luxembourg in this group. They're at the bottom of the table at the moment. Northern Ireland guaranteed third spot in Group D. We'll let you know if there are any substitutions as we get them. It's a triple change on Friday from Kenny Shields in Northern Ireland. And I don't think he's made any changes. I'll have a quick scan through in a moment, but it looks like it's the same 11 who finished the first half. We focused a lot of the last couple of games about who isn't playing, the likes of Furness and McGill and those other players who are either injured or unavailable. And I suppose you forget players, young players like Megan Bell as well, and Samantha Kelly, long-term absentees who just missed out in the Euros, were very unfortunate to pick up knocks at the wrong time.
Yeah, absolutely, and two quality midfielders that, you know, in a game like this, you would just really fancy them off the dribble to cause problems. And, you know, they've had it tough. And when you're a young player and you get injured, you know, you need a good support network around them. And thankfully, they've got that. And hopefully we'll see Megan Bell back very soon, starring for Rangers. And not long after that, maybe Samantha Kelly.
Megan Bell, of course, who worked as a pundit for BBC during the Euros. A real live wire, both on and off the pitch. Very popular figure in Northern Women's football. Played at Linfield, of course, and then made the switch to Rangers. Has been really, really unfortunate with injuries over the past couple of years, but does provide undoubted quality on the pitch. Has an infectious personality, Megan Bell, and always plays with a smile on her face.
Yeah, very similar, you know, Samantha Kelly, you know, won every domestic trophy that there is to win, and the likes the same with Megan Bell and Linfield. Such a decorated player at such a young age.
Great to see young players come through like that. Obviously, Julie Andrews, another one who was involved from the start on Friday. You've got Kerry Beattie on the bench for Northern Ireland this evening. Julie Andrews also available. Here's Burns, plays it out very casually to Mason. That's well worked out to Demi Vance. Decent start to the second half, though, from the home side. Wojtien plays it across, and it's a stretched effort in the end from Danilova, who hasn't seen a lot of the ball up top. Just slipped, I think, as she was trying to make contact on her left side. Mason. To Wilson, who skips past the challenge of Cornella. Tony Lee Finnegan. Attempted crossfield ball straight to McSoney, who's been one of the best players on the pitch so far. I think the offside flag is going to go up now.
Yeah, you just hear Kenny Shields, the manager, just encouraging his team to play a little bit quicker and advance the ball faster up the pitch.
It's the first time that Northern Ireland have really been in the opposition half in this second half. Finnegan takes a free kick quickly. Mason, furthest forward we've seen her, and it's lashed out of play by the right-sided defender. You're surprised that the manager didn't make any changes at the break, having made those 3 switches that had such an impact against Luxembourg?
Yeah, I think he's trusting this 11, you know, and they haven't played particularly bad in the first half, but maybe haven't created as many clear-cut chances, you know, the fine margins of Latvia just doing such a good job of making us play in front of them. You know, we need to find a solution to their low block, you know, and sitting in so deep.
McSoney disguised the pass well, and well, it's Rebecca McKenna who came across and showed good strength against Danilova. Looked as if Danilova had found space between the two defenders and certainly has hurt herself in the process. I don't think it was anything intentional from Rebecca McKenna. It was just the two legs being tangled up, it seemed. You see that outstretched left leg, and well, she does look to be in real pain right now, the young striker.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's a little bit of cramp, because she didn't seem to hold her leg originally from the fall.
Early stages of the second half. That's a pretty small flag and a pretty big pole. I'm not sure what the intention is there, but not being flown with any great deal of excitement there. But there's been a lot to cheer about from Latvia's performance so far. As I mentioned earlier, rooted to the bottom of the group. Difficult campaign, losing 8 of their 9 matches. It looks like they may well be considering a switch in the early stages of the second half. Still not moving the best. A Latvian victory would bring them level with North Macedonia on 6 points. North Macedonia, though, have a better goal difference, so unless there's a dramatic change, it's going to be Latvia at the bottom of the table. England have won the group. Austria will finish second, and then it's Northern Ireland in third. Luxembourg, of course, playing England this evening. Very tough task for them. England's first game at home since the Euros, and having secured their qualification away in Vienna at the weekend. Hamilton. Good pressure put on McKenna. Another opportunity, though, for Hamilton on this right-hand side. Here she is once more. Tries to go outside the defender, who does very well. Trimane. But the pressure's still on, and Latvia pinned back in their own half. Work towards McGuinness. Now it's Callahan. You can hear the Northern Ireland management want the play switched from the right-hand side to the left. Finnegan picks out Cara Hamilton. 3 or 4 in the middle. Can she find one of them? Again, the defender gets her toe on it. Hamilton goes down. Free kick. Good battle going on between that pair.
Yeah, very good. You know, Cara Hamilton, when she gets the ball, as you can see here, just a simple foul from behind, but when she gets the ball, she's so direct in everything that she's doing, but we just need a little bit more movement, I think, in the middle of the pitch, just to create those opportunities for us when the ball does go into the box.
Fedotova coming on for Danilova, so it's a like-for-like change. I mentioned a little bit earlier, Fedotova, one of the most experienced members of this squad, 24-year-old. A little bit surprised that she wasn't in the starting lineup to start with. Makes her way in for a defensive role in these early few seconds of her arrival. Then there's the other change. On comes Zykova. Again, a regular Again, one of the starters midweek as it's flicked on. Sorry, one of the starters last week. Zykova plays in Iceland alongside Sevkova, winning her 40th cap this evening and has scored 3 goals in the process. Good period of pressure though from the visitors. Cara Hamilton got there, but couldn't manage to keep it in play. And 10 minutes into the second half, what are your thoughts, Gil?
Yeah, I think that definitely Latvia have maybe started the brighter of the two the second half, and Northern Ireland have slowly tried to come into the game, but it's just fine margins there. When Callahan picks up the ball, she needs to play the ball early because the space was in behind. We're giving Latvia, we're playing kind of into Latvia's hands because we're giving them time to reset and just sit back in their, in their shape. And Northern Ireland have struggled. I think Kenny Shields might need the introduction of maybe some fresh legs. I'm thinking maybe Rebecca Holloway on the left, give you a wee bit more balance to actually go at the right back. We haven't seen Kerry Beattie yet in these 2 games. Maybe, that might be an option for him as well.
It's not unlike the game against Luxembourg. A game when we expected Northern Ireland to come out and win very comfortably, score a lot of goals. Hasn't quite proved to be the case. How much of that is down to the transition back to part-time football for the majority of these players, because it has been a big transition.
Yeah, I think it probably, when you think about the last year and a half that these players have had, the euphoria of, qualifying for a major tournament, being at a major tournament, and all that takes its toll of, coming back down and finishing a campaign. Plus then, so many big players being out, so many other players, throughout the squad that we've mentioned, 5 or 6 players not being available. It changes the dynamic. So it probably, if Northern Ireland can get a win, I think it's 2 fantastic wins on the road, to end the campaign on a high, because it has been a tremendous 18 months for this team and for the coaching staff as well.
How much does it also reflect the fact that maybe teams are setting up differently against Northern Ireland now because they know that they have quality? And here's an example of it on the ball as Wilson pushes forward. But Northern Ireland now are seen as a threat to other teams, and maybe they know more about them because they played in a major tournament, for example, and know where they're particularly dangerous.
Yes, I think the expectations, from us as fans, as well as, other teams are not taking them lightly. I thought you really saw that in the return leg with Austria. I think Austria came to save you, maybe had watched our game against England, didn't think that we offered too much, and then, 2-2, and they were like, we're not going to get hit again like this, and completely set up with a different aggressive style of football. And, because our players are more high profile now, playing in better teams across the water, there are expectations now across the board.
Here is one of the players playing in England, Rebecca McKenna. Hamilton in the sunlight gets a better of a marker this time. It was a block by Rakane, the goal scorer. A few half-hearted appeals for a penalty kick in the process. Demi Vance screaming for it in this near side in acres of space. Ball may eventually make it its way across to her, but instead it's worked down the right-hand side. Referee let quite a bit go in that period of play, but it's eventually ended up in a Northern Ireland free kick. Here's Caldwell trying to go under her right foot, squeeze it through to Callahan. Good composure, and oh so unfortunate for Marissa Callahan. The game just seemed to stop for a moment, and Callahan lifted it over the goalkeeper and was very unlucky to see it hit the crossbar. Great composure inside the opposition half. Look at this. Just lifted it over the helpless Vojvode. Game starting to open up a little bit. Space is emerging for the likes of McKenna. Callahan is in the middle, couldn't get there. Just hovered in around the 6-yard box as it made its way towards Cara Hamilton, and And the captain just applauds the delivery.
Yeah, you do, just as this game's wearing on and the crosses coming in the box, you do think that the game is crying out for a Kerry Beattie. Maybe someone with a wee bit more of a number 9 prowess inside the box.
But the likes of Marissa Callahan, you know, started to almost take more responsibility, more involved in the final third as well in the last couple of attacks. Oh, so close to that lobbed effort, and that's probably the furthest forward we've seen her so far in that last movement. Here she is in the ball losing out. Wonder around the arm mark, will Kenny Shields be considering switches? Vance, very congested, but just about works out for McKenna. 2 in the middle again. Ruakane not taking any chances. Where's number 10 in her back, but just seems to be given a little bit of a free roll, Ruakane. Almost a sweeper at times. Picking up Emily Wilson for this set piece. I think this may well be Northern Ireland's first corner kick of the second half. Missed by absolutely everyone. And well, every single time Demi Vance plays it in from the corner, you can almost sense the fear in the Latvian backline. My question to you, probably as a coach, Gil, is should someone be attacking that back post area?
I'm just wondering who missed their assignment there. Yes, especially we know the success even from the last game Sir McFadden had there, and just unsure why there was near post runs made and not the back post. And I'm sure it's something they'll correct if they get another corner.
I think the defender was very happy not to see anyone trying to ghost in behind her. Home side struggling to get out of their own half. In the build-up, discussed that this would be a record points total for Northern Ireland should they win this game. I suppose you have to put that in context and say that there are more players in this group than have been involved previously, certainly for the one in the European Championships. Northern Ireland winning every single game apart from the ones against Norway and then 2 draws against Wales, but every other one was a victory. In this group, it's been a similar case with Austria and England. Flawless in other matches. Scored a lot of goals in the process as well. 12 different scores overall. And a few more, particularly on the bench, might fancy getting on and trying to add to that. McKenna makes her way through the shadows. As Finnegan forces it forward. Well, I just have to be worried here because there's a decent run being made up ahead by Fedakova through the middle. Wasn't tracked by Finnegan, and now it's tied up at the back to Jackie Burns. Latvia starting to tie.
Yeah, I think the game really needs a wee bit of an injection of something. You know, we look at the bench and we've seen Kirsty McGuinness warming up. That's exciting, you know, just because he's a left-sided player. Truly left-sided, you know, they can play on the wing there.
I wonder how much Lauren Wade has in her. Is it too big a risk to play in a game like this, with all due respect to Latvia, given that she has a WSL season coming up with Reading? Is Kenny Shields going to take the risk on a player who took a little bit of a tumble in training in the build-up to the game against Luxembourg? Rebecca Holloway as well, just in the corner of your shot a moment ago, warming up. So she's another option. Plenty of attacking assets for Dean and Kenny Shields to work with. McSonek, little flick, offside flag I think is going to go up, so it wouldn't have counted. Plejhovic. They just have to be careful, because whilst they are holding onto the ball and creating the bulk of the chances, Latvia have showing that they do possess quality in the final third. Callahan tries to pull it back. I think the ball had run out of play though.
It's a great run by Marissa Callahan down the right-hand side, and just couldn't find one of her teammates to pick them out in the box, but good run from top of the box from Cara Hamilton.
25 minutes to go in the game, 25 minutes to go in the group. A group that started with back-to-back 4-0 victories over Luxembourg and Latvia at home. Then came the defeat at Wembley to England, followed by a draw against Austria. Those two back-to-back big wins against North Macedonia. Austria, as Gail mentioned a moment ago, defeating Northern Ireland 3-1 at home, and that pretty much, well, virtually put paid to any chances of Northern Ireland qualifying. England at Windsor up next, that historic occasion, a sellout at Windsor Park for that game. 2-1 against Luxembourg on Friday, and one apiece here in the final game of the group. Northern Ireland, of course, won't be in the playoff draw on Friday. Austria will go in from Group D, but they will want to finish the group on a high, continue the momentum built up over the last 18 months. Picked up by Hamilton, and she was dispossessed by the substitute Zykova. Kenny Shields made the calls early on Friday with those changes as it lifted over the top, and could be danger here. Demi Vance used her body well just to shrug off the striker Sevkova. A couple of times she's found herself in that position, hasn't had perhaps the pace to get away from the defender, but it's like 4 players lining up ready to come on, so wholesale changes for Northern Ireland coming up. We'll appraise you of them as soon as they are confirmed. So the manager at the midway stage of the second half is getting ready to make those changes. Finnegan, one of the switches from the game against Luxembourg. Here's another. Wilson gets past her marker. Pounded away by the goalkeeper, and the defender seemed to wait an eternity before clearing it. Was caught by Marissa Callahan as well for troubles. Rare opportunity that we've seen for Melody Wilson to get to the byline. Cara Hamilton's done it on countless occasions on the opposite side, but well, the goalkeeper took control of that situation. So let's try and work out these substitutions. Is that McGee, McLaren, Holloway, plus one other. Off goes Callahan. The debutante Mason as well.
It's good to see Abby McGee back on.
What do you like about the balance that she gives to this side?
Well, she's absolutely fantastic defender. You know, 1v1, we've seen it against countless top opponents in Europe that she gives them absolutely nothing. But what I really love about her is her ability to go forward and make things happen. You know, she's tenacious, she's got a good quality cross, and I hope, you know, we see that, you know, coming down that right-hand side. But again, Rebecca Holloway very rarely puts a foot wrong. You know, at the start of the campaign, she was absolutely flying. Made the big move across the pond to Louisville.
I think arrived late before the warm-up game ahead of the Euros, and then struggled to work her way back into the starting 11. Was involved quite a bit off the bench at the Euros, and then played the final game, of course. But do you feel that Northern Ireland can afford to play both Abby McGee and it's almost a mistake by the goalkeeper, who just scooped it away from the oncoming Sevkova and the Demi Vance. But here is Holloway's first involvement. The question I was going to say to you was, do you think that you can play both McKenna and Abby McGee in the same Northern Ireland side?
Yes, in different roles. They were teammates for a long time at Linfield. So again, Rebecca McKenna was a centre mid at that time, but Rebecca McKenna is so versatile. But I think her best role is a fullback. I think she gives you balance there. But Abby McGee, you know, might be a little bit of a different option, you know, coming inside, more sometimes as a 6, as a midfielder.
This is a look at the back pass. Ooh. Jackie Burns unflustered in that situation.
But with the introduction of Kirsty McGuinness, now we're balanced. You know, we've got a left-footed player playing on the left-hand side. She should go past players with ease, being able to whip in an early cross if needed, not having to pull it back under her right foot. And hopefully Northern Ireland will create some more chances.
Won her 50th cap against Latvia in that game at Windsor Park. Was actually given the 50th cap yesterday at training, so it's taken a wee while to work its way towards the into the possession of the West Belfast player, but she's moved on from the half century, but has that nice memento from that night at Windsor Park, where of course she was in the score sheet as well in that 4-0 victory against Latvia. Has to be said, Latvia have been much improved this time round. Having a little bit of an injury issue over Kirsty McGuinness as well. We weren't sure if we were going to see her. 62nd cap, 14 goals for the Cliftonville player. 5 goals in the group. The top scorer in the squad, actually. There's her sister, Caitlin McGuinness, right now. We've spoken and used the word expectation quite a lot in the last 6 months in and around the Euros, the expectation levels in such a difficult group. How has that changed the mentality of this squad in the short term and the long term, and in matches like this, where there's an expectation not just for them to win, but to win in style? As Hamilton tries to pull it back, still Hamilton, brave from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it comes with maturity and it comes from winning matches. I think, you know, the last campaign when you set out and you win so many matches in a row, that's all you think about. You know, you think we're going to win this next one. Doesn't matter who the opponent's going to be. And Cara Hamilton just very unlucky she hasn't been able to pick out a pass there. But you know, I use a quote from Alfie Riley. He always talks about you're not as good as your last game. You're as good as your best game. And so I think that's probably the difference now for Northern Ireland, because we think of all those games that, you know, that we were able to get results in, you know, with top performances, and now that's what we've become to expect. Well,
without doubt, the standout performance in this group is that 2-2 draw at Seaview. Very unfortunate it didn't end up in a 2-1 victory. It was virtually the last kick of the game that Austria level things up. Proved to be a crucial moment in the group as well, because it left Northern Ireland with a mountain to climb in that battle for second place. It was always likely to be a straight shootout between Northern Ireland and Austria, even though Austria had such quality in their squad and had been in the European Championships before. But that gives you an idea how far they've come. And there's McSoney. Voitin. Quite a number of the Latvian players do play their football abroad, a couple in Greece and Poland, and then also the pair who line out in Iceland. Cara Hamilton just making sure there's going to be a little bit of time added on. The referee tells her not to panic, as a Latvian player receives a little bit of attention. What do you want to see in the final quarter of an hour?
I would love to see a goal. I'm not sure where exactly it's going.
And is that the most important thing, just win this match and move forward?
It is. I know in the last match our performance wasn't there, and for some of the players that I chatted to, it felt still like a little bit of a loss. Again, we talk about it because of what we've come to expect, and you know, just a little bit disappointed that they weren't able to do the job in the final third. And you're seeing it, you know, it's just doesn't seem to be clicking in all the right areas. Sometimes the build up from the midfield and the rotation isn't quite there, and you know, teams now just sit in and hit us on the counter. And you know, unfortunately in both games we've made simple mistakes, you know, that comes from sometimes lack of concentration, like you've seen in the corner mistake in the last game. So we need to iron out those mistakes so we're fully concentrated, and we need to take our chances in the final third.
That's actually the substitute, Fedotova. Here's another one. And Zaikova. Latvia haven't offered that much in the final third in this second half. Had a couple of opportunities on the counter-attack, trying to find space through the middle, but they're forced back here, and there's the pressure from McCarran. Caldwell. Worked out quickly to McGuinness, and there's a player in the overlap, and Holloway. I think the player may well have ricocheted off and collided with one of the camera operators just in behind the goal. There's it is void time.
Okay, you are out. Are you sure?
Referee just making sure she's okay.
Just hear the instructions from Dean Shields about Sarah McFadden making that run back post, and
McCarran shifts it towards the edge of the box. Well, let's work out. It's McGuinness. It was right off the training pitch. Switch of direction, but it was well defended from McSoney, who for me, across the two games, has looked very, very capable. What an introduction that would have been for Kirsty McGuinness. We are into the final quarter of an hour. It's going to be an outswinger from Vance. Beats everybody. Holloway might fancy it on her favourite left foot, couldn't keep it down, but wasn't far away. Rebecca Holloway, who's scored 3 goals in her 13 caps so far. You can see the likes of Caldwell charging in. Latvia trying to get bodies in the way. But it all seems to be one-way traffic at the moment. Sevkova.
it's great again from Vance, just so self-assured at the back, being able to clean up, and Northern Ireland winning the ball back again so quickly. If they can just switch the point of attack here, but as it creeps into the latter part of the game, you're thinking maybe in the last 10 minutes is it time for maybe another introduction of a striker.
Well, there's one more substitution to make. Dragged back from Kirsty McGuinness. Don't think the referee noticed it and then decides to give the foul as she brought down McSoney. Referee quickly across, doesn't want to hear anything from Kirsty McGuinness. That could be more of a foul for the first challenge in the second one. I think McSoney was certainly looking for that free kick on the occasion, trying to get wrapped up with Kirsty McGuinness.
She might have got away with that challenge at St. Paul's, but yeah, not here.
Here is McSoney. Gives away the free kick again. Caldwell trying to take it quickly. McSoney, I think, is going to be shown the yellow card for not letting the free kick be taken quickly. So she goes into the book. 11 to go. Abby McGee. Rebecca McKenna in a slightly more advanced role as this game goes into it in the final 10 minutes. Well, we know what she can do from that position. We saw it on Friday night. Very relaxed looking Latvian manager. The Latvian isn't great, so I'm not going to try and translate that. I can let you know what Kenny Shields is saying from some of the effects mics, but I'm not quite sure what the message was there. I think it was probably push up a little bit, but the side are being pinned back now.
Bit disappointed you haven't taken Latvian.
No, not. Had enough trouble trying to pronounce some of the names before, rather than trying a whole different language. Here is Kirsty McGuinness. Oh, it's flashed across goal by Holloway. All it needed was a touch. There were two Northern Ireland players in the 6-yard box, but neither one of them could get there. And again, it's Holloway and McGuinness on this left-hand side. Was Caldwell furthest forward? She flung herself at it. Anyway, Cara Hamilton just behind her. And
unfortunately, the replay just didn't see the pass. First of all, from McGuinness, it was a first-time touch into Rebecca Holloway, who then played it forward. And I was actually, I think, one of the best Northern Ireland plays of the second half of forward thinking, good runners off the ball, and unfortunately Hamilton didn't make the back post run, and Caldwell just couldn't get there in time.
Vance. Kerry Beattie is getting ready to come on, so she is going to get the last few minutes in this game. Will it be like for like up top? We'll find out in the next few seconds. Yep. Off goes Caitlin McGuinness. On comes Kerry Beattie, a player who was very unfortunate not to make the squad for the Euros. A player who joined Glasgow City from Glentoran and then since moved back to the East Belfast club. A player who just simply loves scoring goals. And probably Gill is a point to proof.
Yeah, I think she's actually probably the most natural in a 9 role, with her physique and, you know, her ability inside the box, and, you know, you don't need to tell her when to shoot. It comes very, very natural to her.
Will she be the hero? Sarah McFadden winning the ball high up the pitch and trying to kickstart an attack from a Northern Ireland point of view. Voigtine showed a lot of that to Kirsty McGuinness, but just about got away with it. Holloway. So likes of Grace McKim will have to wait for an international debut for another day. One of the teenagers in the squad, the youngest member of the squad, the 18-year-old from Cliftonville, brought in at the last minute alongside Cara Hamilton by Kenny Shields for this one.
Yeah, we talk about young players coming through in a game with a lovely left foot, and Grace McKim was one of those. She's had a great season so far with Cliftonville, and I watched her at the under-19 tournament that we hosted as well, and very accomplished left-sided player, you know, can play at full-back or left wing, further forward.
A little bit lucky at the back as they squander possession, but they've won it back through Holloway. Caldwell keeps it in play. 6.5 minutes to go plus injury time. There have been a couple of stoppages in this game. Plenty of time for Northern Ireland to find a winner. It's good perseverance from the substitute to get in behind Holloway, who'd initially left the ball, and that's going to drift over the end line. I think Latvia would take the point at this stage because certainly they're not tackling numbers up the pitch, and well, it would be a a decent end to the group for them, having shipped so many goals and suffered so many defeats in this campaign. Mentioned their world ranking. It's the lowest they've ever been at 122 in the world. Those demoralising defeats to England and conceding 20 goals. Ruthless from England, but very difficult to be in the receiving end of. There's Cara Hamilton in the sunshine. So many players in white, just on the edge of the penalty area. Everybody except McFadden and Burns inside the Latvian half. You're starting to see frustration kick in. The likes of Demi Vance wanted movement and just felt that was an opportunity to get the ball into the box, but just hasn't clicked in the final third. Kenny Shields, of course, will talk about the likes of the Callahan chance that ricocheted off the crossbar, and a couple of half chances as well from his side, but it's one apiece at the moment. Have Northern Ireland done enough to win this game?
I don't think so, no. I think that maybe the McGuinness chance in the first half was maybe key, that if that goes in, she gets that on target, maybe if confidence is, throughout the team, you're a bit more settled. You have to come from behind, but certainly not in the second half. I don't know, possibly changes maybe just a little bit too late, or just haven't done enough to really hurt Latvia.
And it was a very fortunate goal to score when you reflect on it, and the corner kick spilled by the goalkeeper, but there hasn't been an abundance of chances. That could all change though if in the final couple of minutes Northern Ireland can pop up with a winner and finish the group with a victory. They're certainly on the front foot right now. But Latvia have been disciplined. Tough away doubleheader, but in reality, two games that most people expected Kenny Shields' side to win and win comfortably. Didn't have it all their way against Luxembourg. And it's been a similar story here, taking on Latvia. Just a reminder, a lot of these players, a majority of these players who had been part of a full-time program went back into their own employment and playing part-time football after the Euros, so that has been a bit of a lifestyle switch for them. It was bound to be a knock-on effect after 6 months in the full-time game, so much hard work going in off the pitch there, preparing themselves for an historic first ever major tournament, so perhaps this was to be expected, but Hamilton has won a corner kick, and it's in the right side from Northern Ireland's point of view. It's going to be an in-swinger from Derry Vance as we approach the final 2 minutes of this game. Vance, another good delivery right on top of the goalkeeper and has ricocheted in. I think it's another own goal. Sarah McFadden was the player closest to it. She put the goalkeeper under pressure. It's another late show from Northern Ireland, and it looks like it's going to be another 2-1 victory. I think it was the defender at first glance, Lubina. Let's have another look at it though.
Yeah, it's a problem when you have zonal defending, isn't it? They're static, and Sarah McFadden comes in with power and pace and
desire.
Absolutely, to get that ball over the line, and we already know that their goalkeeper isn't that confident, so that's
credit the delivery, but you have to feel for the defender, Lubina. Trying to have a glance to see who's following up, and it just ricocheted off her back into the goal. The goalkeeper looking for the foul, not dissimilar from the challenge that was given a foul earlier in the game, but that one will stand. Not too sure if we can give Sarah McFadden back-to-back goals, but herself and Vance certainly had a big part to play in what looks to have been the winner. This isn't looking good, though.
It's just like maybe she jarred it when she was landing, but no better person to give her the treatment than Catherine Ferguson. Excellent physio.
Well, that just epitomises Sarah McFadden. What a Euro she had. Just seemed to be everywhere and took on some of the biggest names in the sport and seemed to really relish and enjoy that challenge.
Met her brother on the way home from the Euros, and what a wonderful family, just full of praise for his sister. She says she's his hero.
Here's McGuinness. A third really would be harsh in Latvia, but Northern Ireland are pushing for one. Still McGuinness. Options outside her. Beattie. McGuinness had gone for the follow-up. It's going to be another corner kick, and I suspect that's going to be dropped right on top of the goalkeeper's head again.
Beattie just plays an early one into the box.
It's actually going to be outswinger again, so it's Demi Vance with her left foot, unless she just clips this in towards the 6-yard box. You can see Kerry Beattie lurking. Kirsty McGuinness. Twinkle toes in the corner of the penalty area, and the attack could be on. Sevkova battling for pace with Rebecca McKenna, who is fairly rapid herself and needed to be then. Good vision, this pass. Just round the corner. Sevkova attempting to get in behind Rebecca McKenna, but the Lewis defender keeping her concentration, and it looks like it's going to be 2 wins from 2 on the road for Northern Ireland. 2 victories to end the group. Back-to-back 2-1 wins in 2 games that they've had to work very hard. 3 points, the most important thing. We are in injury time, no indication as of yet how much is going to be played. And it could be 3. McGuinness, blocked by the defender. Did that strike an arm? No, it didn't. No appeals from Kirsty McGuinness.
Yeah, looked like a nothing ball there as Kerry Beattie just runs on to it. Shows real heart and desire to get on the end and put a cross in, and unfortunately for Kirsty McGuinness, it was on target. It looked like a handball, but it was close to her body. Very unfortunate.
Numbers now flooding forward for Latvia. They will feel there's time for an equaliser. Took the lead, of course, in the first half from a back post header. Here's Sevkova. Decent ball in. What a stop from Jackie Burns right at the death. It was a substitute, Zykova, who caught it first time. The volley, it was a brilliant first time ball in from Sevkova. And Jackie Burns may well have rescued the victory for Northern Ireland. At full stretch, palmed it away out of the danger area. Has that wrapped up the Northern Ireland win? We've played 3 minutes. Home side still pushing. May well create another chance. Another effort on target, but straight down the middle and straight into the hands of Jackie Burns. And we continue. Beattie. McFadden to Vance. A little bit of keep ball. See this one out. Complete the group. And complete 2 difficult away days, but 2 valuable victories. 3rd in the qualifying group. It's going to be 6 wins overall. Only defeats the 1 to Austria and the 2 to England. Here is McGuinness. And there is a 3rd. It's Cara Hamilton. That makes sure of it. Goalkeeper got a good hand on it, but couldn't keep out the effort. And Cara Hamilton wraps things up. Yeah. Linking up with Kirsty McGuinness.
I think it was the first ball, wasn't it, by McFadden just over the top. Just a direct play, great run by McGuinness just to stay on side. And I think Kerry Beattie, she creates a space by going near post, and Cara Hamilton does all the work coming in at the far post. And again, wee bit of luck there again, just as it hits off the post and the goalkeeper.
The final touch of the game, the final touch of the campaign. Northern Ireland end Group D with yet another victory. 3-1 probably wasn't a fair reflection in the game overall. Jackie Burns had a big role to play with some crucial stops. But Kirsty McGuinness, Nadine Caldwell and co have made it back-to-back victories in their 2 concluding games. 2-1 against Luxembourg on Friday, and now a 3-1 victory away to Latvia. The home side took the lead, of course, early on, but Northern Ireland battled back. Those 2 late goals key. The own goal in the final minute of the game, and the icing on the cake, Cara Hamilton in injury time. In this World Cup qualifier, it's finished Latvia 1, Northern Ireland 3.